some big time 49ers updates. We got the status updates for Saturday. Who did they call up? They did call up George Kittle. He's activated from the injured reserve list. He's getting ready to play tomorrow night, Sunday, without any restrictions, as we found out yesterday. He's officially been activated from the injured reserve list, as has Kevin Givens. Kevin Givens is activated from the injured reserve list. Defensive tackle Kevin Givens, tight end George Kittle off the injured reserve list. But the bad news is Fred Warner officially went on the injured reserve list. It's going to be tough without him, but they did not put Fred Warner on the season-ending injured reserve. You never know. He's out for a season, but you never know. George Kittle back, ready to roll. And Kevin Givens back, ready to roll. That's good. Travis Gibson, they activated him from the practice squad. They actually promoted him to the active roster. Travis Gibson, defensive end. He's been pretty nice for the Niners. He's going to be on the active roster now, 53-man roster. They called up Nick Sickell and Malik Turner also. Those guys got activated this week from the practice squad. They weren't promoted like Travis Gibson. Travis Gibson's actually now on the 53-man roster. So pretty good to hear. Niners, they get some good news from George Kittle. You get the bad news from Fred Warner. But you get good news from Kevin Givens. Nick Sickell's going to come in. Maybe he could play. I don't know. And then Malik Turner, he's going to be there because they placed Marquise Vandis Scantling, MVS. I don't know if I butchered his name. They put MVS on the injured reserve yesterday because he had the calf injury. So we'll see what happens. The Niners got a lot of injuries. Ricky Pearsall I just got his jersey sent to me in the mail. I opened up my mail this morning before I went to work, and I got a Ricky Pearsall jersey. So that's dope, but he's not going to play this week. But there is a chance he comes back next week, according to Deanna Rossini. She says that Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall could play next week. Obviously, they're not playing this week. Mac Jones is your starter this week, in case you didn't know. But good stuff. Kittle, Mac Jones, the connection. Jordan Watkins is going to be there. Nick Martin's going to play. Special teams mainly. So the 49ers are getting a little healthy, although they've lost some players. It's like an up and down situation. It is tough, though. It's going to be a hard game without Fred Warner. We all know Tatum Bethune. He's going to be the next man up. Got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's got big shoes to fill, but we shall see. So maybe Watkins can play and make some big moves. You never know. Maybe Kendrick Bourne continue to shine. He's been the wide receiver one with Mac Jones at quarterback. So I expect Kendrick Bourne to be a big part of this offense. I'm pretty sure Juwan Jennings is going to play. He's been playing injured, but there was no status designation from him. There was no questionable mark or anything that I saw yesterday. So Jennings should be there, but it really is going to be the Brandon Ayuk show. Or not the Brandon Ayuk, the Kendrick Bourne show. Sorry, Kendrick Bourne, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle back with no restrictions. This man fully tore his hamstring in week one against Seahawks. 6 weeks later, he's back, fully torn hamstring, no restrictions. It's a dog. George Kittle built different. So good stuff. The O-line definitely has to lock in Mendez. I need this offensive line to be just peak. And I don't know. I think George Kittle might go crazy tomorrow night. I think he's going to be the guy. It's going to be George Kittle, and I think he's going to dog walk the Atlanta Falcons. That's why we're going to win tomorrow, because George Kittle ain't going to let us lose, ladies and gentlemen. So that's my prediction. It's going to be a tough game. Not going to lie to you. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, they're very good players. Atlanta has a good defensive line. Tough team. And you know what? The key, though, is getting to Michael Penix. We can rattle him. If we can get him under pressure and under duress, Niners can win, because Michael Penix isn't like this, like, oh my God, it's Michael Penix. He's kind of above average, but the Niners could get to him and force him to be stressed. If you can get him rattled, Niners can cook, man. Renee says, I still don't think Jones is 100%. He's not. He's been battling through the oblique injury, knee injury, but he's tough. He's a warrior. He's a little bit more ahead of Purdy in terms of injury, right? He's going to play through that stuff. Purdy's turf toe is it's a weird injury. It's one of those things where you can get it worse, right? And it become like the Burrow situation where you need surgery and you be out for 3 months. And you don't want to do that when you're paying a guy $53 million. So the Niners are being very cautious with Brock. It's a fragile situation. But Mac Jones, he's not making as much money. He's tough. He wants to play for the contract in the future. And he's showcasing that he's a pretty good player for the 49ers in their system. And you know what? If he wins tomorrow, he gets 400,000 buckaroos added to his bank account because he wins 4 games. That's his incentive for the season. So I think Mac Jones is going to go out there and try to win. So I'm excited to see George Kittle tomorrow. Real quick to recap, because I'm about to bounce. George Kittle, activated off the injured reserve list. Kevin Givens, activated off the injured reserve list. Travis Gibson, he's been added to the 49ers 53-man roster. Nick Sikel, Malik Turner, they were promoted to the 53-man roster for the weekend. And Fred Warner goes on the injured reserve. And Braden Willis was waived by the San Francisco 49ers. That's your update. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a blessed day. Love you. Go Niners.